Tim and Moby. Why do we have Halloween? Sincerely, Michael. Hey, Michael. Halloween has kind of a long and interesting history. It begins more than 2,000 years ago in ancient Britain and Ireland. Back then, the land belonged to a group of people called the Celts. November 1st was an important holiday for the Celts. It marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. To celebrate, they had a giant festival that began on the night of October 31st. It was called Samhain. Yeah, I know, it's spelled differently than how it's pronounced. What do you care? You can't speak English anyway. During Samhain, the Celts would light bonfires and sacrifice crops and livestock to their gods. They would dress up in animal skins and hides during the festivities. The Celts believed that the ghosts of the dead, along with fairies, goblins, and other supernatural beings, roamed the earth during Samhain. These beings could cause a lot of trouble. To keep them at bay, people would leave food for them outside their houses. Well, during the 1st century CE, the Romans conquered Britain. Over the next few centuries, 2 Roman holidays became combined with Samhain. First, there was Feralia, which honored the dead. And then there was the Feast of Pomona, which honored the goddess of fruit orchards and the harvest. Well, Pomona's symbol was an apple, so some historians believe that the tradition of bobbing for apples began with her festival. Anyway, in the 4th and 5th century, Christianity reached the British Isles. The Celts and the other people that lived there all converted, but in many places, the old holidays were still celebrated. To get them to stop, the Pope replaced Samhain with Christian holidays. November 2nd became All Souls Day, a day to remember the souls of the dead. November 1st became All Saints Day, a day honoring Christian martyrs. And October 31st was All Hallows Eve, which was shortened to Halloween. Well, Hallows is Old English for saints, and Ean means evening, so Halloween literally means the evening before All Saints' Day. The traditions we associate with Halloween gradually evolved over the centuries. By medieval times, the tradition of leaving food out for the dead had evolved into a ritual called souling. Beggars would go from door to door at Halloween time. They would promise to pray for the souls of people's dead relatives. In return, they'd receive some food. That's probably how trick-or-treating began. In Ireland, people began dressing up as ghosts and goblins in order to blend in with the supernatural creatures that wandered the earth on Halloween. They also began carving scary faces onto turnips, gourds, and potatoes. They placed them in windows or near doors to keep these beings away from their homes. That's how the tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns got started. When people from Scotland and Ireland immigrated to America, they brought their traditions with them. They caught on, and pretty soon kids across the country were making mischief and trick-or-treating on Halloween night. What do you mean I'm making Halloween boring? You want it to be more scary, huh? Alright, how's this? Happy Halloween, everybody!